Hello everyone, your boy Mikey here again today with another great tutorial for you guys. So today we're going to be talking about Adobe Illustrator, Adobe After Effects, and a third-party plugin used with After Effects called Element 3D. Element 3D was created by Andrew Kramer of Video Copilot. Let me give you a quick look at what Element 3D is here. Take you to my desktop. Let's open up a web browser and Element 3D. So this is Element 3D. This is the website here, videocopilot.net. And you can basically, what you do with in Cinema 4D, Maya, Blender, etc., those 3D modeling softwares, you can now do that within After Effects using this plugin. This plugin is amazing. So today we are going to be taking a sketch that I made in Adobe Illustrator and importing it into Adobe After Effects and turning it into a 3D model basically for animation and just making it look amazing. So let me show you what we're going to be doing today. So if you look at this video I have here, this is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making this 3D model animation here using After Effects and Element 3D. And our main source for that project is going to be this drawing that I made in Illustrator right here. As you can see, here's all the layers that I use to make this drawing. So each part of the drawing here is, something, a line or a drawing. All these layers make up this drawing. So let's close this. Before we begin, thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. This, helps me make these videos, and in my appreciation of you doing so, I'll give you, just email me, tell me that you subscribed, and I'll send you a temporary login that you can use to access one of my web servers that I host all my files, and I have thousands of 3D models and lots of software. So I can give you a temporary login and you can download whatever you want. Just like and subscribe, send me an email, and I'll be happy to send you the credentials. All right, so like I always say now, let's get to the coding. Let's start Adobe After Effects up. I'm using Adobe After Effects 2024 for this tutorial. All right, we're gonna create a new composition. We're gonna call this E3D logo. 1920, 1080, 29 frames per second, 30 frames per second. Actually, let's change that to 30. 5 seconds, okay. All right, so on this side here, we have our project files. We're gonna take the file that we want to animate here and drag it in here. In my case, I'm going to take the Illustrator file, footage, merge layers, click OK. We'll take the file from here, drop it into our project, click on layer, auto trace, current frame. Make sure that you have apply to new layer checked off. Click OK. And as you can see, it traced the whole image, right? It made a trace of the image here, and it made a new layer of the trace right here. Let me check my video card. All right, let me crank this up to the max. This is the NVIDIA RTX 4090 video card. Very powerful video card. All right, so from here, we now have an auto trace of this layer. So we can click layer, new, solid. We're gonna call this E3D logo 1920 by 1080, click OK. Now we can click on effects. I'm gonna bring up my element 3D effect. I'm gonna drag it over the layer that we just created, the solid layer. Actually, let me drag this to the top. And here now, under the effect controls, I have the controls for this plugin, Element 3D plugin here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on custom layers, custom text and mask, path layer 1. We're going to change this to auto trace. The auto trace that we just took of this sketch here, we're going to select that. And now we're going to hit scene setup. You can click on extrude. And as you can see, we now have our logo in a 3D image here that we can animate using After Effects. And this custom path here, this custom path 1, is the path that I chose over here, the custom path layer 1. And as you can see, the 3D layer is on my screen here. We also have the sketch. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut off these two. So we just have the element layer selected here. So as you can see, that's now our image versus what it was before, right? So let's go back into the scene setup of Element 3D. I'm going to go into the control panel here, take off the info, take off all these gizmos and gadgets. And I'm going to turn on the show AO, which is ambient occlusion. And that will give me all my shadows and things like that. I can also take off draft textures. The image will be like in a higher resolution. And right now this image is all in one because in Illustrator everything was grouped into one. So I could have kind of grouped into different groups and have like this separated, because over here these are all the models that I'm using here. So as you can see, this is like just one model right here, one whole wireframe. That's all the layers. Actually, I could actually edit these individual, but I would have to group them. I could show you that in another tutorial. Actually, I could do another tutorial where I could show you actually how to do all that. So for right now, we're going to use this as one. So I can go into my presets. I'll take this. These are like just different textures and colors and things like that you can use for your 3D model. So right now I'm going to use this metal. And that's going to give it like a little metal look to it. I can click on, right now, the light. If I hold down the shift button, I drag the mouse, this is my light, and that's coming from the environment. And the environment is here, which is like a room and half the room, where this looks like 3/4 of the room is lit up. And then you have like a quarter that's like the dark corner right here. So that's like your environment if you're in a room, right? And we can change that by going in here, clicking on environment. And I have a bunch of environment maps. And I'll just use let's say we'll use this one, JPEG. You can click OK, and you can change all these settings and just play around with these settings here, but I'll just leave everything default for now. Click OK. Now you can see it's going to take the reflection based off of this environment here that I've chosen in the background, and that's what it's going to use now for its reflections. So we'll keep this, shut the environment off so we don't see it, and yeah. So we have texture, we have our environment. We can change the lighting here quickly, you know, different styles. You know what, I'll use cinema. Over here, we have a lot of settings that we can do with this model through here. And right now, oh, let's bring this back to here. Right now, I'm going to play with, this is the model here. I'm going to play with the extrude setting and the bevel outline settings. So right now, as you can see, this model, the thickness is this. So if I bring this extrude, let's say just right now it's at 1, let's bring it to 2. It's going to widen it, see? So the more you expand this, or the more you increase this number, the more you'll expand this. If you decrease this number, it's going to make it more thin it out. So I'll leave it at 2. I don't mind 2. And over here, we can click on bevel backside. So we're going to have that roundness backside also. We can, over here, I'm going to click on enable for the bevel outline. And as you can see, that gave it like second outline to it type of thing. And let's see, bevel size, let's bring this up a bit. Let's bring this to 1. All right, keep, no. Put this, I'm going to put this to a quarter. It was at a half. Let's put it to a quarter. And I like, quarter is not too bad. Actually, I like a quarter too, because you can see right through everything. It gives it all those shadows. Half, let's go like 0.35. Something in between. All right, we'll keep it like this. I like this. So there's all kind of settings you can do. You put maps in here and change the textures, the reflections, the colors. Like, there's just so much settings. I'm going to click on draw back faces. And let me see something here. AO mode is on, ambient occlusion, that's good. I can give you guys another tutorial with like all these settings, and as I said, we can group things together and break these pieces up and animate them. But for now, we're just going to use this. So right now, let's click OK. And After Effects took all the changes and import into After Effects from Element 3D. So now let's click on Layer. We'll make a new camera. Camera 1, 2-node camera, click OK. And with the Alt button on my keyboard, if I hold it, I can now change the camera, change the angles, and animate this 3D model. So let's make also a new, we'll make a light, do a spotlight, change the color to like a purple, cast shadows. Let's put the camera on top. And good, so that's good now. All right, so let's give this a little bit of an animation here. Let's start off maybe something like this for now. This is just a simple animation, just kind of showing you how you can take an image, JPEG, sketch, logo, and kind of turn it into something like this. This is a quick tutorial, basic tutorial on how to use Element 3D with After Effects. So we're on let's click on the camera layer. We'll hit the P on the keyboard to get the position settings. Go to start of our comp. We'll make a keyframe here. We'll go to the N. Let's just change the camera up a bit. Maybe something like this. All right, so let's go back and see how that animates. All right, I like that. That's pretty cool. I like that. All right, so let's go like here so we can see some shadows now. And I can play around with some other settings. So Element 3D now has another panel settings, which is if we click on Element 3D layer here, now all these tabs, all these drop downs have all kind of settings. So for the sake of this tutorial, what we're doing, we're just going to use, well, we already used the custom layers group here, tab, because we had to put the auto trace layer in here to get it into Element 3D to extrude it. So let's minimize that. Now we're going to play with the render settings, and this is going to make it so we kind of put the icing on the cake of this whole image and the whole ambient occlusion and everything. So the physical environment, we'll bring this up. That's going to affect how much lighting affects the animation. So I like to bring it up to about 50%. We're going to come back to this rotate environment in a sec. Lighting. Let's add lighting and we'll bring it to dramatic. Actually, let's try cinema. It's a little bit bright. Okay, we'll leave it on cinema. Additional lighting. We're also going to come back to this rotation setting in a sec. Shadows. Let's click on enable. Ray traced. I'll bump this up to 2. I'll bring this up to 8. Ambient occlusion. I'm going to enable this. Ray traced. I'm going to use 8, highest. I am using the NVIDIA RTX 4090, so it can handle this processing pretty quick. So as you can see right now, I'm in full resolution and it's just ripping right through it. It's a great video card. Reflection. I'm going to bump this up to the highest. I'm going to skip these for this tutorial. And ray tracer, fine. Okay, the output, we're going to bump this up to 32, bump this up to 8, enhanced, multi-sampling, and that's good. So let's minimize this. And now, as I said earlier, we're going to come back to the rotate environment settings under these lighting parts here. So now let's go to the starting of the comp. We're going to bring this up, bring this up. We're going to set a keyframe to the starting here, bring it to the ending, and we'll just rotate the environment on the x-axis, let's say like 1. Enter. And now we should get some lighting. The lighting should be changing as the image plays. Let's bring this down now. It's starting to get a little bit choppy. See, as you can see there's the lighting, how the lighting is reflecting. All right, so let's bring this to maybe a third. Let's set a keyframe on the Y. Let's go 1. Sorry. We'll set a keyframe on the Y, go to the N, and we'll set this to 1. So now we'll have some more lighting effect. We'll bring this to, like, let's say here, halfway. We'll click on the Z axis, set a keyframe, go to the N. Let's bring this to like 0.5, enter, which would be 180, because 360 is 1. So 0.5 gave us 180. And that's some lighting there. You can also do it on the rotation here under lighting. So we'll do the same thing. We'll set a keyframe, go to the N, we'll hit 1. We'll go, let's say, halfway. We'll set a keyframe on the Y. We'll go to the N. Click on 0.5. Give us 180. And we'll go, let's say, 1/3 here again. Set a keyframe. Go to the N. And we'll do 1, just for sake. Right, so let's see what happens now. Let's click on preview. Actually, let's do save. We'll save this as, where's my compositions? Control desktop. Save this as tutorial on my desktop. Save. All right, let's bring it to like half resolution. Go to the preview. We'll put this to half. Look at that card just rip right to it. Love this RTX 4090. All right, let's play this. Look at that, that's at half resolution. Okay, so let's go full resolution. Give it a couple of seconds here. You can also go view, shoulder, to take off that so we don't see that light there. Okay, let's hit spacebar. Look at that. Look at the quality on that, eh? Amazing. That's like not even using really all the settings, like it's nothing yet. There's so much more settings we can do, but that's going to be for another tutorial. All right, so let's save this. And then we can go File, Export, add to render queue. Here, best. Work area, length of comp. 30, okay. Change this AVI format. Use this Intel. We're not using no audio on this. project here. Okay. Output. I'll put this on my desktop. E3D logo API, save, and hit render. That's it. It's almost done. All right, let me save this. Minimize that. And look at that, guys. Look at that, guys. That's from a sketch, you know, drawing, logo, JPEG, Photoshop image. That's what you can do with Element 3D. You can make your image, extrude it, put it into a 3D model, and animate it, and just the render settings are just amazing. How, you know, the shadows, it casts the shadows, and you get those presets there with the textures. You know, there's so much other things that we can do to this: diffuse, texture maps, ambient maps, bump maps, normal maps, and I can show you all that in another tutorial. But like I said, you know, please subscribe, like my channel, and drop me an email. And I have a server that I serve a lot of my files. I have thousands of 3D models, programs. So if you want some access to that, to download some of these models, you can just email me and I'll be happy to send you a login so you can download whatever you want. And yeah, I hope you like this tutorial. I hope you found it fun, and I hope you gained something out of it, and I hope you can take your own drawings and, you know, you make your own logos, you can animate your own logos, and yeah, have fun with it. And I hope you like this tutorial, and see you on the next one.